Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again and radiating love as always. Rabbit, welcome to your daily oracle card message for today, October 1st, 2019. I appreciate all of the continued support as we all continue to rise in love together. And let's hop into this reading to see what we have going on. I have the Answer is Simple deck. I have the Sacred Traveler's Oracle card deck. Let's get into it. Let's shuffle these cards. We have hit October, guys. Rabbit. That's right. Rabbit. We have hit October, guys. We only have 3 months left. 3 short months left of this 2019 year. And we'll be in 2020. The huge 2020 portal. Are you guys ready? Oh my goodness. I don't think any of us are technically ready. That card just popped out. Say thank you. Gratitude is always good. The number is 40, reduces to 4. Let's see what we have for the other cards. So we have Say Thank You as the first card. Let's see what we have. So we have the Say Thank You card, which just popped on out. And then we have Desert Passage. This is one of my favorite cards in the decks. Trust that there's a divine plan. You can't really get these cards go very well together. Say thank you and trust that there is a divine plan. I don't really think I need to say much about this. It's a desert passage. A lot of times when you see in these ancient books or these ancient texts, there's an individual who's either walking through a forest or a desert, and maybe they're hungry, maybe they're thirsty. Maybe they're looking for some type of sustenance, and they have to trust that there is something out there. They have to trust that there is a divine plan for them. I think a lot of times what happens is that we can lose faith, we can lose trust along this journey because we're expecting things to be a certain way. We're projecting our expectations onto our reality, and when those expectations aren't met, which 99.9% of the time they aren't met exactly in the way that we wish, we get frustrated, we get disappointed, we build resentment within our body, and that resentment starts to hold into our body and weighs us down like an anchor. How can you release that anchor? By saying thank you. Have a gratitude rampage. I've been doing the I missed yesterday, so I got to start all over. But I've been doing the 33-day ritual with Peace Dealer. And part of the ritual is doing a gratitude rampage, which I think it was the Hoodoo King that came up with that. But essentially, you just sit down for about 5 minutes and you just go on a rampage of gratitude and say all the things that you're grateful for, from the big to the small, to the inner to the outer. I think that this, especially during this time, is very key. We're in this Libra season. This, this 2019 cycle is, it's coming to a close. There's a lot of energies going on right now. We have Mars here at the tail end of Virgo, which, Virgo is in many ways trying to seek this sort of perfection. And then Mars is like, oh, what actions do I need to take? We're still trying to figure out, how to act perfectly, or trying to act in accordance to that which we think is going to give us and manifest that life that we want. But as we can clearly see, we still have a lot of this Capricorn energy, this Cancer energy that's starting to square Libra now. The sun is going to come into the square with the nodes soon. And, Venus has already squared Saturn in the nodes. Mercury has already squared this energy. And it's interesting. It's like all of these planets were kind of bunched together. Now they're kind of spreading apart. And, some of these energies are going to be moving into Scorpio very, very soon. I believe that's where we're going to have the Mercury retrograde. How does this all really tie in? It's like all of these planets were congregating with each other. And now that they're all kind of spreading apart, it's almost sort of like, everyone's kind of going off. These energies are going off on their own path. They're going off in their own direction, on their own journey. And in many ways, we can kind of feel like that in life right now, where, these planets represent different aspects of our consciousness. So it's like, it almost feels like we're moving apart. Like it's almost like we're like breaking up in a sense. And we have to trust that there is a divine plan that's going to bring all of these energies together, that's going to bring them all together in this harmony, that's sacred geometry. Because when you look at an astrological chart, when you look at the wheel, it's sacred geometry. So there are no errors in the universe, beloved. There are no mistakes. Yes, we all have our trials and tribulations. Yes, we all have our vices, but there are ultimately no errors in the universal scheme. This is a beautiful sacred geometrical dance and symphony. I don't really know how else to put it, but like I said, if you're feeling any lack of trust today, if you're feeling any lack of faith today, go on a gratitude rampage or write it down. Say all the things that you're thankful for, and you'll find yourself lifted out of that kind of that muck and that mire, and that you'll find yourself releasing that anchor, and you won't need the anchor anymore, because that'll actually allow you to move forward. Let's see what we got for the dice roll today. We have, wow, we've had Scorpio in the 10th house. We had this energy yesterday, but we have the South Node. We have the South Node in Scorpio in the 10th house. This is a rather interesting energy. The South Node, it denotes, past lives, the gifts that we bring into this life, but also kind of what we want to detach ourselves from or kind of get away from. And if anything, the gifts of the South Node are a bit of sort of like a last resort, because they are things that our spirit has gone through. Scorpio in the 10th house is an individual that takes their career very seriously and probably can be a little ruthless when it comes to their career and their purpose and their legacy. But with the South Node here, this is talking about, there is no need to destroy others on your way to success. There is no need to kind of have this sort of, the thing about Scorpio, and Scorpio isn't it's not a bad energy, not at all. It is death and destruction though. And it is this sort of intense energy where it's hot and cold. So it's like there's no need to sort of have this sort of hot and cold relationship when it comes to our career and our purpose, our legacy, as we move forward in these aspects. And not only that, but you can have a lot of boundaries and restrictions put up. Scorpio does rule boundaries. So this South Node in Scorpio in the 10th house is saying that when it comes to what you want to do in your life, any type of boundaries that you have at this moment probably do not serve you as much as you think. You have to allow yourself to transform, as Impossible said. You have to allow yourself to have that transformation. I think a lot of times what happens is that we will put up these boundaries because we think that's what we want. But we have to trust that there is a divine plan. And I think that this comes down to, you have to trust God's plan. You have to trust God's plan, because I guarantee you, God's plan for your life aligns a lot more with your spirit than whatever your plan is. And one way to really tap into that is to remember to be grateful for all that you have in your life. Remember to be grateful for all that you have in your life. There's no need to really, kind of force the issue here. There's no need to, engage in, because I think, Scorpios, scorpions, they're poisonous. So there's no need to engage in poisonous, business practices or poisonous. This happens in the world anyways. I'm just saying though, there's no need to engage in this. There's no need to engage in these practices that, destroys other people while building yourself up. That's another thing, because, Scorpio is death and rebirth. It is this transformation. It is, death and then creation. So it's like sometimes, a lot of times people will make themselves feel better and make themselves feel of a higher status by pushing other people down, therefore giving them the illusion that they have a higher status when really they have just stayed the same. They haven't transformed. It's an illusion of transformation. It's an illusion of change. And they're just damning themselves, and they're just not being honest, and they're not being in integrity because they put other people down to make themselves feel better. There's no need to do that. Trust in the divine plan, trust in the divine timing. Everything is working out in your favor. That is it for your reading, beloved. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to astrofenixx.com. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often. And it's the first of the month, so don't forget to say rabbit, rabbit, guys. It brings you good luck.